Like this shirt?
Good girl. I think it's a great shirt.
I got it from. I traded it with the guy in Canada somewhere. In Newfie somewhere.
Oh yeah, Newfoundland.
Yeah, either Halifax. I think outside the show, this guy had it. I was like, "That's cool." He goes, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'll give it to you." I'm like, "Yeah, you got to wear a shirt though. Whatever shirt I had, I was like, I'll just swap you."
Yeah.
I had a cool shirt on. Somebody gave me that one too.
But this is cooler.
Visit Palestine. I do not think it looks like this anymore.
Oh yeah, because of the stuff.
The stuff.
Right.
Don't fuck with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Old Bibby's up to his tricks, huh?
Where you been and where you going? This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's You Be Trippin, yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to You Be Trippin. It's a travel podcast. Every week, a guest takes us to a place that they've been, a different place every time. It's the only podcast in America that is endorsed by the Canadian Trucker Convoy in Ottawa. Please help me welcome to the stage today, Graham K.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Do they sponsor this? Because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't love that group, but
I don't know anything about them.
But you know, I'm a climber. I want to do well, so I'll suck it up.
I think mostly they were just there to drink, and then a few people were like, "Well, we have a cause," and everyone's like, "Oh, that they kind of spoke for the group," but most everyone was like, "We're just here to drink."
This is how pathetic Canada is. They were a group of Canadian truckers.
Yeah.
That were anti-vaccine. Okay. But then they drove a convoy all across Canada and stopped working, so stopped making money, and drove to Ottawa to honk in front of the Parliament buildings, and they had like Trump 2020 flags.
Trump.
It's like
so weird.
It's a different country.
It's not about
losers.
Trump.
It's not about
It's
Trump.
about what he represents.
It's morons.
Which is like this freedom kind of shit.
And they're honking at old ladies picking up groceries and stuff. It's like nobody. They think, oh, you're from Ottawa. You're Trudeau. It's like, no, we're just people buying groceries.
Every time there's a rally or something, I went on a anonymous march once.
Yeah.
And they would it was Union Square,
Yeah.
and they would like walk past people sitting at cafes like outside, looking at them and like, wake up, sheeple. And I want to be like, guys, they don't even know what you're doing here.
Yeah,
They're just looking at a group.
That's the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
It's just people who they want to belong.
Yeah.
People want to belong.
Go.
Something to do.
Yeah, exactly. They just want to belong.
Yeah.
That's what everybody is.
Yeah.
Where do you want to take us today? What are we gonna talk about?
Well, my first job out of university or college, if you're an American.
You actually remembering now, you were on Skeptic Tank, an old defunct podcast, and you talk about how many times you got fired.
I was fired 18 times.
We did that from the apartment I was staying in.
And you know what's funny is
COVID.
in my opinion, the funniest story I forgot to tell, and it was the last one. I got fired for being a house painter for painting the wrong house.
Fair.
How did I forget that on a comedy podcast?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, my first job, I had an office job during college, and I worked for the Canadian Post Office in administration, and I was able to finagle a job.
Say that word again.
Finagle?
Spell it.
No.
Because you can't.
I cannot. I can't spell at all. Finagle.
There's one N in that.
Really?
Yeah. You're putting how many?
Two at least.
You're putting two, yeah. It's one.
Finagle. It's finagle.
It's finagle.
Is it a Yiddish word?
It sounds like it, right?
Yeah. Is that why? Are you using your special powers?
It may be. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
It's a not finagle, finagle. But anyway, I got a job as a war profiteer working.
No, finagle is not a Yiddish word. It's an American slang term that means to get something through trickery. This sounds Jewish. Manipulation or guile. For example, you might finagle an assignment to a committee. Sounds at least Jewish in some way. Yeah. Am I recording this time? I'm not recording. There we go. Okay.
Is the podcast started?
The podcast has started, but this recording.
Oh, the TV.
The TV recording is not.
It's good you checked.
Let me get your website up here so people can see it. There you are. In case you don't know who I'm actually talking to, and there's your Instagram, which is Mr. Graham K. What is this line they're putting through Instagram?
I thought you just did that with your mouse.
No, it was in Ian Sterling's also.
The hell? Anyway, I got a job. The Canadian government paid me to work for a private American company.
The line.
Yeah, I don't like that line.
Canadian. Sorry to interrupt you.
I was a war profiteer in Budapest, Hungary during the height of the Iraq War.
A war profiteer.
I was a war profiteer.
That means someone makes profit off the war.
Off of the war.
How?
We were the middlemen. I did logistics for a company that, off air we were talking about the breakup of Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
So this company was an American company founded by American with Hungarian ancestry. So Budapest is the capital of Hungary.
Okay. I got some American bills over there. You know which one it is?
You have American bills?
No, Hungarian bills.
Oh,
I'm trying to get.
I was like, I do know American bills. As a matter of fact, I might have some in my pocket. Yeah, I do.
Which one?
Bottom right, I think. Yeah, there's a Canadian 20.
The yellow one.
Yeah, I could see that.
5,000. Anyway.
Yeah, they're not doing well. But anyway. So
I'm a bad host, so I realize I'm going to distract you a lot. So you just got to
I have ADD.
Keep it going back on.
You can't be throwing balls to the dog.
Damn.
Pointing at bills, saying, "Have you ever seen an American bill?" Which is what you said, and then pointed at a wall. I'm gonna look. You got an American bill over here.
Oh,
by God, he's got a $5.
That was a big choice, not to put up a 1.
Yeah, I have a 2 on my fridge.
Really?
An American 2.
They're magic in
Ecuador.
Ecuador.
What do you think about that? Huh?
They're magic in Ecuador.
What do you mean?
The American 2.
They're magic? What do you mean? You can't just say that.
If you go to Ecuador
doesn't make any sense.
and pay with a 2, let's say it's $8, you give a 5, 1, and a 2, you'll stop traffic. They're like, what?
Yeah.
If you tip, if it's and you tip with a 2, even if it's $100, that tip with a 2 is like saying, here, I'm going to name my baby after you.
Wow.
They're like,
wow. What about a Sacagawea, like one of those $1 coins?
Don't give a fuck.
No.
A crisp 2 will get you a lot.
You should tell them it's gold.
Yeah. Black gold, they call it.
Yeah. But anyway, so...
How'd you get that job?
The Canadian government had this, like...
You postage stamp yourself and send it over there?
I put a bunch of pictures of the Queen of England and Maurice Richard playing hockey. The Canadian government had this, like, program that they would send people overseas if they had a college degree and were under 30, and they would pay for it. And they had like a website where you could apply for these different jobs, and these companies would sign up for it. You could do anything from like digging a well in Africa to being like helping a DJ in London or something.
Interesting.
The idea, I don't know why, but the idea being, I guess you get your young people overseas, and then they'll make businesses, and then whatever.
Oh, right, yeah.
So anyway, this company, they made a bunch of money in the Yugoslavian war, being the middleman between American army bases and the corporations that sell the American army stuff. They're like, we'll ship it and do the logistics and everything. And then that war ended in Yugoslavia.
So we're to make money off war.
Yes.
Like, that's my business. It's like, I don't want war. Eventually you will. But like, hey, it's happening.
100%. So anyway, that war ended. Then they decided the Iron Curtain's fallen down. We're going to bring American know-how into corporate moving or whatever. Then the second war, the Iraq war, starts up, 2005. Boom. They're like, we still have all the emails and all the contacts for the American army and military.
Yeah.
Let's start this up again. Budapest is right in between time zones between Iraq and America. We can do in the same day. We can do we can do the business in the same day between both. And so my job was to basically, we didn't sell any weapons or ship any weapons. We shipped everything an army base would need. So with Camp Victory outside Baghdad International Airport, or was within Baghdad International Airport, it was called Camp Victory, and they had to change the name because it's bad publicity because they didn't win. But they
Camp Victory, Iraq.
Yeah, in Iraq is right. But Baghdad International Airport, and then they had a big wall around it, and then they had something called the Green Zone in Baghdad. So they had the Tigris River that was, on 3 sides you were surrounded, and they built a wall on the bottom side, and then they were completely encased and safe in the Green Zone, and then they were safe in the airport, and there was a highway running to downtown Baghdad in the green zone and the Baghdad International Airport, Camp Victory, and it was the most dangerous stretch of road in the entire world.
Because bombs and stuff?
Because bombs and insurgents and everything, and they had something called a Rhino bus. So the people that worked for us, they would...
This is Camp Victory, this thing on the water? No.
I think that's a palace inside Camp Victory. That is Saddam Hussein's old palace, and that was also near the airport, I guess, and in Camp Victory. And so the American military set up operations in that palace.
It's so funny because that reminds me of like you play a show in like Stockholm or something like that. Like, oh, this is like a Nazi base.
Yes.
This is Nazi headquarters. And it's like they didn't build it for that, but they just took it over.
They took it over. And the south of France the Rolling Stones recorded an album in an old Nazi headquarters in the south of France.
Hello, everybody. I'm breaking into today's episode to let you know exciting news about our guest, Graham K. He's a hilarious stand-up comic. He's one of the nicest guys I met when I was in New York. Even though he's from Canada, not even though. Legitimately, Canadians are nicer. I love how everyone gets confused about politics versus actual humanity. And they go, oh, Canadian politics. At least my friends in Texas especially. I have conservative and liberal friends, and it's very funny. I sit back as a non-political person, and I just watch them yell at each other. And neither one are really listening to what the other one's legitimate gripes are. They're always talking about each other's fringes. Anyway, anyone who bitches about Canadians hasn't really hung out with a Canadian. They're legit way nicer than Americans on a day-to-day level. They're just friendly. They're outgoing and friendly. And Graham is, and he made me feel at home. And on top of that, he's one of the funniest comics you'll ever meet. Oh, we got into some fight. Actually, can I share this? I will share it real quick. First, I'm going to tell you, he's doing a one-man show at the Soho Playhouse. He's doing his first one-man show out here in New York. It's July 9th through August 3rd. Get tickets at sohoplayhouse.com. He also said there's a promo code just for my listeners. Peter Parker. Peter Parker. Why is this transcribing? That's crazy that it just starts transcribing. This phone, I mean, they're not even hiding it anymore. The way they're listening in. Pete and Me, it's about his hilarious tale of growing up with a brother with severe autism. King of the retards, I call them. The jelly bean counters of the world. We need it. Hey, you drop a box of jelly beans, a whole fucking thing, and it comes out. Oh, shit, I dropped all the jelly beans. Someone's like, how many was it? I'm like, how many? How am I supposed to know? You bring in a fucking ringer. 846. It's actually a joke from my special. America's Sweetheart. Go see Pete and Me at the Soho Playhouse July 9th through August 3rd. Get tickets right now at sohoplayhouse.com. You can also go see Graham K. On the road. He's got two big dates. Comedy Bar in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. September 9th, the Comedy Bar. September 6th, the Comedy Bar. And then in October in Cincinnati at Bombs Away. Cincinnati, Ohio, October 24th and 25th. Get both tickets at grahamk.com. Me, I just got one more road date left, and that's it for a year and a half. It's Charlestown, West Virginia. If you live anywhere near it, come on out. All different material from America's Sweetheart. Charlestown, West Virginia. Get tickets at arishafir.com. Please subscribe wherever you're watching and listening. But guys, I'm testing new mics, by the way. I've got exciting news. We got new merch. We got stickers, and we got T-shirts. You Be Trippin stickers, 3 colors. They wanted to do a 3-pack for fucking $15. I said, no way. That's $5 each. That's actually not bad. $5 stickers about right. I said, you know what? Let's do a 6-pack, $2.50 each. 3 colors. You Be Trippin. What I'd like you to do is put these in wild places all over the world. We got a nice blue. I'm gonna fucking get right into the thing here. Isn't that fucking cool? Designed by Lee and Gwyn. Abracadabra. We got a maroon on cream. That's a cool one. Like, put these on, like, wait, how is it? There you go. Legitimately, I want you to put this on, like, on a pyramid in Egypt or in Machu Picchu or at Anne Frank's house. And we got it clear. That, I think, is for passports. I'm going to put I don't have my passport here. I have it at home. But it looks like a passport stamp, and I think it would go great on your passport holder, or even in a page of your own passports. All clear. I don't want to waste this one. Maybe I will waste it. No, see? Can you see it? All clear. Yeah, so it would go fucking great in a fucking passport. Actually, my journal I'm going to do. The journal I'm taking traveling that I got in a special place that I'll tell you about later. So you just take these out, fucking unstick them. Come on. Just unstuck it. By the way, the hardness it takes to unstick a sticker, better the quality. Okay, we got the You Be Trippin. And boom, right there. So let me show you what it would look like in your own book. Oh yeah. Boom. Sticks right there, and there you have it. All these stickers are available right now. We've also got t-shirts, You Be Trippin t-shirts. I'm going to put this one on this water bottle right above or next to Bert's tit. Yeah, make your own water bottles. 6-pack. That allows you to fucking use one on a passport, give one to someone else maybe that you meet on the road. Like, wait, you listen to this podcast too? Or turn them on to it. If you're traveling, if you're backpacking around the world, turn them on to it and say, hey, you like that actually? They'll listen to a few episodes and be like, oh my God, I love it. Talk about it for a while. It's like, well, I got a gift for you. 1 passport stamp sticker or a water bottle sticker. Boom, come on. There it is. There it is. Proudly. Ooh. Boom, goes the dynamite. There it is. Put in a picture of the t-shirts, same design, red on black, another one mint on like a greenish. That's it, everybody. Yeah, You Be Trippin. You can get it right at the bottom. If you're watching on YouTube, you get right on the bottom. There's a link right there for merch. Otherwise, go to arishaffir.com. If you're listening, they should have this on whatever. But a 6-pack of stickers or the new You Be Trippin t-shirt. That's it, guys. Let's get back to the episode with Graham K. Talk about Hungary. And in the outro, I'm going to talk about this. We finally completed the wall. All right, let's get back to the episode.
I thought I was just going to Budapest to work for like a company that was like helping NATO build hospitals in Iraq. Like I thought I was going to be. They lied to me, and I was like, okay. And then I got there, and I remember it took me like, I'm a little slow maybe.
Yeah.
It took me like.
You could be like a great tard.
What's that?
Like one of the greatest tards.
Thank you. Yeah. I'd rather be the top than like the dumbest normal guy.
Yeah. Big fish, small pond.
No, I'm working hard.
Yeah.
My little pistons are running hot.
I do paperwork.
So it took me like, this is a year contract. I'm in Budapest now, and I'm 23, 24.
Wow, what a time.
And I have an apartment downtown, 2-bedroom apartment I share with another guy.
Did they get it for you?
And we did it ourselves, but they helped us. I think but it was like a sick apartment downtown, you know. Anyway, so after a couple months, I go, hey, I think, because I remember we were like working, we're shipping things. You buy a hammer at Lowe's in America,
yeah,
and then you want to ship that hammer that you bought for $3 to Baghdad International Airport, or nails, or a comic book, or anything an army base would need, because they're children, so they need comic books. We'd ship a lot of comic books. They're all 18.
They're all 18.
And so we you take a hammer. You buy it at Lowe's for $3 in America. By the time it gets to Baghdad International Airport, it's like $25.
With
all these middlemen like us
shipping it, charging more, offsetting the cost.
Yeah. So we were called AES Cargo, and we were us and DHL were the only 2 companies to have bases in Baghdad International Airport and the Green Zone. So we shipped a lot of stuff, and you'd call Iraqi customs. So you're calling Iraqi customs. These are Iraqis. But what happened is when the Americans took over, they said you could have your own president, but we're going to run the infrastructure. And then they privatized it and sold it to all their friends. Dick Cheney sold it to all of his friends.
Wait, what do you mean? What's the infrastructure?
Like, if you were to call Iraqi customs, you wouldn't get a Muslim man picking up the phone, speaking in Arabic.
So it would be a separate customs, or did they just ran Iraqi customs?
They ran Iraqi. It would be Lurleen from Mississippi would answer the phone.
Wow. That's interesting. Keep going.
And be like, hey, it's Iraqi customs.
That's crazy.
Because they privatized it. And it was, I'm having a brain fart right now. There it was DynCorp was one of the big corporations.
I've heard of them.
And then it was, what was...
DynCorp. Yeah.
What Dick Cheney was on the board of...
Not Boeing.
Halliburton. And so Halliburton and DynCorp were the two major companies that I would be calling to try and get, let's say, rebar, building supplies into Iraq. And then I would call Lurleen at Iraqi Customs, but hi. And I'd be like, all of my Halliburton stuff is through, but all my DynCorp stuff is like waylaid. You know, it's like being held up. And she'd be like, well, I can't help you with that. And then I did research and I found out that Halliburton was running Iraqi customs. They privatized it and gave it to all their friends.
So they would intentionally hold up the competitor's stuff.
Yes. So they were intentionally holding. And so I go to my boss. I go, hey, I think there's some corruption here. I think that we're war profiteers. And he was like an Australian guy. He started laughing because like he wasn't the main boss, but he was an Australian. He goes, it's the mob, mate. You break someone's windows, and then you go, I sell windows. That's all it is.
Wow.
Yeah. And so...
Why'd you go Australian for that?
Huh?
Why'd you just go Australian for that?
Because he was from Australia.
Oh, okay.
And then you were looking at the ball, weren't you?
I forgot the Australian part, but yeah, it's possible.
But
I get easily distracted.
But then, so I just started going like, screw this. I stopped. I still had the Canadian government's paying me. They're not paying me.
Oh, interesting.
So I started to just like fuck off. And
which tracks for the Graham K fucking, yeah. You're not looking to keep jobs. You're looking to keep them longer than you will eventually.
That's right.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to be a comedian anyway. And I was like, I hate this job. And if it's an office job, and I remember
in Budapest,
I was like, if I hate this, then I'm going to hate it in Ottawa.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Ottawa in the running, at least, for most boring city in Canada.
Oh, easily the most boring.
It's gotten worse.
Yeah. Has it? I think it's gotten a little better.
Homelessness has gotten like, it's actually like now finally not safe.
It's safe.
Okay.
Were you just in Ottawa?
Yeah, I was there not too long ago.
It's very
last
safe.
year, but they were like, "Oh, there's homelessness now here."
Well, for them,
what? Yeah,
like
maybe that's what it is. They were all bitching about it. I was like, "This is always the place I could just do mushrooms and like I'm the dangerous one."
No, it's still like that. Trust me. It's
okay.
Like 3 people get stabbed a year, and they're like, "It's not safe out here." It's like, well, there's 1 million people. Maybe the city's growing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, I literally went home for the holidays, and the 6 o'clock news on the radio was like. I'm not joking. A man fell from a ladder today in Vanier. It's like, a man fell from. Dear Lord, stop the car. So
nice.
Anyway, I'm like, I'm just gonna start fucking off. Not doing a good job. That'll be my silent protest, and see how long I can keep this.
I love
up.
how it's like silent protest instead of just like laziness, but like let's call it something. Or were you like I could see if it's like Schindler ran the things like let's run it the company slower so we give them less.
I will say that 50% of it, I will admit, was being a 23-year-old who wanted to party, but I was trying hard before I pieced this all together.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe this will be a future for me. I'll live in Budapest. I'll be this like expat dude who like works in shipping, importing, exporting, and like I've got this cool like weird life. They were gonna transfer.
It is cool.
They were gonna. Yeah, it was super cool. Budapest is incredible. They were going to transfer me to Prague because they liked how well I was doing. And my mom is from Czechoslovakia and was like, "You're going to work in Prague? Oh my God, you'll be close to family. I'll come over. My boys finally making good," because I got sent to boot camp in high school and stuff.
It was still Czechoslovakia back then?
No, it split up in '93. This is 12 years later.
Okay.
So she's from Slovakia, the Michailovce in the east side. So anyway, then I'm like, I'm not doing this. I want to be a comedian. And I just started taking every 3-day weekend and then calling in sick. And
nice.
I went to Munich. I'm a big history guy, big World War II guy. And I'm a fan of a lot.
Tactically, he had good ideas.
No.
But it's like the liberals who can't see that Trump is funny ever, and I'm like, well, I mean, I get not liking him, but
they're eating the dogs.
That is funny, and he's like, he's not funny. I'm like, well, you're not giving me anything. You got to give it up for Hitler's tactics
in the beginning
for war, the war tactics in the beginning. Yeah,
I would say
the Blitzkrieg was a great idea.
Invading Russia, and getting all of your soldiers and putting them on meth.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
They're like, everyone's like, they just won't stop marching. How are they doing this? Well, they're on meth. Their teeth were falling out, for God's sake. Just grinding their teeth but yeah, probably invading Russia
was a bad idea.
Was a bad idea. Doing a land war in winter.
You play golf at all?
Yeah.
So you know how sometimes you're in the woods and you're like you hit the woods, you're like, oh, I see an opening straight towards the green. It's not very big, but I can make it. Yeah, and you're like, just punch out.
Yes.
Just punch out.
Yes.
And when you do make it 1 out of every 7 rounds, you get a shot like that, and you do it, you're like, that'll keep me losing 5 strokes a round.
100%.
Every time you hit one.
Also,
off a pine cone. Like, dude, this isn't just punch out. You lost the stroke.
And also, don't listen to your friends who are like, you could just go for it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You don't have a tin cup every time.
If your friend is the head of the Luftwaffe and says, let me finish off England, don't listen to him.
Don't listen to him. He had a tiny window to get Russia. He's like, if we get it, though, we'll be done with it early. I'm like, well, let's just wait till spring.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm glad he was a narcissist.
Yeah.
I'm glad he thought he was God, because then he made mistakes, and now the world's better. But anyway.
Hey, guys. Today's episode of You Be Trippin' is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Guys, you wouldn't fuck somebody random that you just met without a condom, would you? Well, I know I have, and I know a lot of you have too. Even troubling people. I mean, multiple times I fucked chicks with herpes who said they had herpes, and then they just said they hadn't had an outbreak in a while. And I'm like, God damn it. And I still took a chance, and I got away with it. One time in Nashville, some chick, listen, I'm pretty responsible. I'd like to have the STD talk. I like to have the pregnancy talk. I go, hey, have you had anything? And then I lead with what I've had. That's the good way to do it, because then it opens up the door. So I say, talk about chlamydia, curable, went away. Talk about genital warts. I've had genital warts. I've had chlamydia. Multiple times chlamydia. Anyone under a certain age has been vaccinated for HPV, so genital warts are not really a problem. Plus, they've been gone for years and years. And then the chlamydia comes and goes. You piss in 2 directions. By the way, shout out to you guys. If you piss in 2 directions, little note for you, in the morning, more than one morning in a row, you got chlamydia, stop fucking. But anyway, this chick goes, okay, no, I haven't had anything. I was like, okay, great. One time I did say that STD. She goes, great, I'm glad you said that. I do have herpes. I was like, oh, and right then I got a text from another chick who wanted to come over. And I said, actually, I need time to think about this herpes thing. Let me think about it. Text the other chick, came over, herpes free. But I have fucked chicks with herpes without condoms in the past. Anyway, this chick goes, no, I would definitely not have an abortion. And I go, oh. Well, we should use a condom. She goes, yeah, because I'm definitely not getting an abortion. I mean, don't knock me up, but if I do, I'm definitely keeping it. And I was like, okay. Still fucked without a condom. Crazy. It's crazy. It's like legitimately. It's like, what are you doing? And that, my friends, is what using your fucking computer at the airport's like. Yeah, sure, you got away with it. There's hackers everywhere. You're on an unsecure network. That's where ExpressVPN comes in. Who else does these roundabout ways of doing that? Yeah, that's right, guys. Using your computer on the Wi-Fi at the airport or in a library. None of my fucking fans go to libraries. The airport, bus stations. It's totally unsecure. Insecure. No, insecure is what I am at parties. Unsecure. It's like fucking a chick who will not have an abortion without a condom. I'll just go, I'll fuck a chick with herpes just slowly. It's so dumb. Yes, I got away with it. Yes, you've gotten away with using a fucking, your data hasn't been fucking robbed. Your data will get robbed, guys. It's so easy. You got to use a VPN. You gotta. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network, cafes, hotels, airports, your online data is not secure. Just so you know. Any hacker on the same network can gain access and steal your personal data, passwords, bank logins, credit card details. Yeah, they're going to find out how much you spend on hookers on credit cards and then share that with your wife. Now you're fucked. Now you're fucking randoms with herpes without a condom. Now you got herpes. Or go another route. Use ExpressVPN. It's super secure. Take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. It's easy to use. Works on all devices, phones, laptops, tablets, and more, so you can stay secure on the go. Optional, dedicated IP service engineered with innovative, zero-knowledge design. Not even ExpressVPN can trace an IP address back to the user. For U.S. customers only, it comes with Identity Defender, a new suite of tools to get your data removed from data brokers, alert you when your data appears on the dark web, and even insure you against data theft for up to $1 million. Rated number 1 by tech reviewers like CNET and The Verge. I've used it, ExpressVPN, in other countries, in China, to get around, just not even for security, but to get around their stuff, so I can actually get on my own website, rshaffir.com. Was not available in in China. They're like now blocked. Propaganda or something. Also to get on porn anytime in Texas or Tennessee or Florida. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/trippin. That's expressvpn.com/trippin to find out how you can get up to 4 extra months free. expressvpn.com/trippin. 4 extra months free. Do it now. Stop fucking chicks who won't get an abortion while you don't have a condom on. And stop fucking chicks who told you they have herpes without a condom on. And stop being careless with your data by not using ExpressVPN. Use it. Get secure. Start wearing a condom. That's it. We got away with it, you guys. We've all gotten away with it in the past. Stop taking these chances. Do you know how troubling it is after you do a bad fuck? After you did something you shouldn't do. And then the next month, I mean, to have to check in with a woman for another full month. Like, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hoping she eventually tells you about the period she got. So you can be like, well, I'm off the hook on that one. What, are you going to call the hackers every day? Oh, have you stolen my fucking bank info yet? That's even worse. They can wait a while. Let you deposit a bunch of money. With the abortion chick, it's just like, oh, have a period and I'm off the hook. I mean, I've taken so many chances. I did get away with it, though. Focus on the positive. All right, guys, let's get back to the episode. Sorry. That was long, but I got into it. I did enjoy it. All right, that's it. Back to the episode. Bye.
So I went to Munich.
Yeah.
3-day weekend, and I signed up for a World War II bike tour. Yeah. And the night I get there, I go to a punk rock show. By the way, I've been in Budapest for like 4 or 5 months. Haven't got laid.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how are the chicks there?
They're beautiful. Could not crack it.
You couldn't even make time with them?
Figure it out. And I was just so frustrated. I was like, Munich.
Berlin, though, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I wish I had gone, but Munich is way closer to Budapest.
Okay.
I could go on the night train. Gypsies tried to rob me, but my feet were big.
Munich. Oh, I see.
So my toes, when they opened the door at nighttime, they brushed my toes because I'm tall, because I was lying down on the seat.
Oh no.
And they were, and if I didn't, the gypsies would have robbed me on the night train. But
those gypsies.
And then anyway, so I go to a punk show that night, meet a beautiful girl. Doesn't work out, fine. But I'm up to like 5 a.m. chasing this girl.
Yeah.
And I have to wake up for the World War II tour. It's like a 10 a.m. or something. So 10 a.m. we go on this big long tour. I meet an American girl on the tour. It ends at the Hofbrauhaus beer hall.
You meet a second girl.
Meet a second girl.
Okay.
And we're getting along.
It took you to the Hofbrauhaus?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, the tour ended there. We started drinking and I'm making headway. She's like, look, we can't hook up now.
Why?
Because I have to go on a train in 3 hours. But I'm going to be going
to... I need 6 minutes. You're talking about...
We'll have 3 minutes left over for me to clean up.
Yeah.
But they... for me to finish crying.
153 extra minutes you have. Yeah.
And then so she goes... and I'm the one who's crying in that joke, by the way. So anyway, she goes, I got to catch a train, but I'm going through Budapest with my friends in a couple days. I'll hit you up.
Oh.
Here, let's exchange numbers. We exchange numbers. I'm like, great. And then I'm like kind of drunk, and then I go, they leave, I'm alone, and I see these 2 beautiful, blonde, like German girls. And I just sit beside them, start talking. I make friends with them. They're like, hey, do you want to come to like a real German club, like not in this touristy area? I go, yep.
In Budapest?
This is in Munich still.
In Munich.
This is a 3-day weekend.
Okay.
And I'm at the Hofbrauhaus, and then we...
Whoa, that's cool.
And the thing about the Hofbrauhaus, they give you a big beer stein, you try and steal it, right? So I steal it.
You got it.
I stole it, and I got this thing, and I'm like... And then they take me to this club, and they won't let me in with the beer stein, so I hide it behind a bush. I go in the club, we get drunk. I haven't slept. I've slept like 3 hours.
Hide it behind a bush.
One of them's gone. We sit in a booth. I'm kind of
bring a stolen beer stein into our beer establishment.
Yeah. I'm blacking out in this booth. There's 2 women on either side. I kind of like come to. One of them's gone. One of them is leaning in to me for a kiss. I close my eyes to kiss her. I pass out.
Oh.
I spill my beer on her crotch.
Graham.
She goes, "My pants! What are you doing, my pants?" And then she leaves to go to get in a cab. I like run after her and I go, come on, I'll come home with you. Come on, let me come home with you. Come on. Let me in the cab. She goes,
begging is always a very sexual.
She was so turned off.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out why couldn't I get laid in Budapest with these moves? And then she goes, fine. And I get in the cab. I immediately pass out. I wake up. I'm in the suburbs. There's no cars. There's no stop sign. I'm in the back of a cab. The cab driver goes, He's going, pay 50 euro. I give him my last 50 euro.
Oh, no.
I get out of the cab. She's gone. And I'm like, hey, Marguerite, or whatever her name was. Marguerite. And I'm like, fuck you. It's like crazy. But, clearly this guy did her a favor and was like, look, I'll just drive around the corner and I'll let him out. Yeah. And she was like, thank you. And...
Hey, this fucking asshole talked his way in here, and I don't want to. Can you just move him a little out of here? I'll have no idea.
Yeah.
I get it.
I could do that. And anyway, so I pay 50 euro, which, at 23, 24 years old is
$1 billion.
It's $1 billion. Yeah. And then I'm like, it's cold. It's like winter. And I'm like, I'm going to freeze to death. This is before smartphones. I've got a little brick phone. I go, oh, there's a phone booth. So I start sleeping in the phone booth. I'm shivering. A cab pulls up. A bunch of guys get out. I run to the cab. I go, take me to the train station. He takes me to the train station. I have no money. I'm like, okay. I know that my hostel is near the train station. So they get, but I'm gonna run because it's different. It's not near my hostel, so you don't know where I live. And I go, I have to get home. There's no Uber. Uber's not going to exist for another 10 years.
You couldn't wait that long.
I was going to freeze to death.
You couldn't wait 10 years.
No, I couldn't. I would die if I waited 10 years.
You would die.
And I would need food.
Freezing.
And then I would probably meet her on the street in the suburbs, and it would be super awkward.
Fucking bitch. Sorry about screaming in your neighborhood.
I'm sorry about screaming. Yeah, I'm a bad guy. But so we arrive at the train station. He goes 50 euro. I go 9 euro, and then I run out. He jumps out of his seat. I'm in the back right. He jumps out of his seat, does like a Miami Vice slide across the hood, grabs me. I swipe him away. I keep sprinting. He radios all of his other cabbie buddies. Now I'm running through the streets, and cabbies are chasing me and radioing each other. And there's cabs everywhere. I can hear them going, "Cook." And like I'll turn around a corner, a new cab will start chasing me. I'll run around the corner. I'm sprinting. There's no cabs down this street, and I could hear cabs like cars
all chasing you,
all chasing me. So I duck down an alleyway, dead end. I'm like, uh-oh, and I crouch behind a garbage can, and I'm trying to make myself as small as possible. And there's an alleyway, and I'm looking down the alleyway, and I'm like, if they stop, they're going to trap me. They're going to lock me in this, and then they're going to beat me up or whatever. And so I hear a car coming. I don't see it because I'm just looking down the opening, and I hear a car coming, and I hear the radio like, blah, blah, blah. Cab passes the opening.
This is the Warriors, yeah.
And I'm like crouched behind, like, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me. Cab passes. I go, oh, thank God. And then I hear like, stop. And I'm like, fuck. And so I have to sprint towards the opening. I'm sprinting towards the cab
where he is.
because I have to.
This is the plot of the Warriors.
Is it?
Warriors come out and play. It's taxi drivers come out and play. Yeah.
And so I have to, in order to get, it's a dead end, right? I have to run towards him. He gets out of the cab, does a sweep kick, and he kicks my shin. And I run through it, and I'm bleeding down my shin. And now now it's like 7 a.m, and like the sun's coming up, and I'm running down the street, and there's cabbies on foot chasing me. I see people that look like my parents because they're older and up early, looking at a map like tourists, and I run by them, and people are going, "Stop, thief! Stop, thief!" like a movie. And I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, come from like an upper middle class family. I'm like running past these like people look like my parents. I'm going, "Stop, thief!" And I'm like, what have I done? And I run.
You're a thief.
I run to the main drag, and then they'd called the cops, and the cops come, and they run into me they stop, and I'm on the hood now, and I go, help me! Those cabbies are one of them tried to touch my dick. He tried to touch my dick. I keep saying that.
You're drunk.
And the guy's like, I don't know. They're like the cops aren't buying it, but what, like, it's my word against his kind of thing. And then the cop goes like, "How much was it?" And the guy goes, €50. And he goes, "Come with me to a bank machine." And he like makes me take out €50. Makes me give him €50. The cop gives me a receipt because it's Germany.
Oh, right.
And he goes, "Never come back to Germany again. You must never come back to Germany."
He did not have the authority to enforce that, but I'm sure to a 24-year-old, like, fuck, I think I'm banned from.
And then I go, okay.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened in Germany.
yeah. And then I go, okay, well, fuck it. So I go back to my youth hostel. They're kicking me out now like 3 hours. So I have 2 hours sleep. Now I've slept like 4 hours in 2 nights.
Oh my God.
And I get out, and I have to catch a train. But I have like 3 hours, and I'm like, I want that Stein because I forgot the Stein. So I go back to the Opera House. I pay for the Stein this time. It's like €20. I go, but it made me late for my train, so I missed the train. So now I have to go through Austria, and now I'm still can make
no directs.
No, and I have to sleep in the train station that night in Vienna. But I can still make work the next morning. But I only have like a half-hour turnaround at my house. But I'll get in at like 7:30 in the morning or something.
Change, go.
And so, but I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll just sleep 3 hours in the train station. I go to the Vienna train station. It's like nighttime, and they kick me out. I didn't realize they kick you out of the train station. So now I have a brick phone. This is no smartphone. I'm wandering around. I'm like, I gotta find a youth hostel to sleep. I'm dying. I've slept 4 hours in 2 days. I flag down a cab. I go, take me to a hotel. He goes, I don't know. I go, take me to a youth hostel. Takes me to youth hostel. He goes, €45. I don't have €45. I go, ugh. I go,
on the second stolen Stein.
I go, do you want this beer Stein? He goes, yeah. So I give him the beer Stein. The whole reason why I'm late is the beer Stein. I have to give it to him, so he'll leave me alone. I'm not going to run again. I go into the youth hostel. I go, give me a wake-up call for 7 a.m. They go, we don't do wake-up calls. And I have a phone without
no alarm on your brick.
No, on the brick. So I have to start wandering the streets, and I have to wander the streets for 4 hours. I find a cafe. I fall asleep. They kick me out. So you can stay up
till 7?
Yeah, they kick me out of the cafe. I get on the train. I make it to Budapest. I go to work. I start convulsing and throwing up because I'm exhausted. I have to go home because I'm sick. And then I get a call from that American girl from the Opera House saying, let's party tonight.
Oh, she was an American.
I want to hang out with you. And I go, I can't. I'm sick.
No. Why? Graham, why?
I was sick.
Graham.
I was throwing up at work because I was exhausted. I had slept 2 hours in 3 days.
Okay. Do you know what cures that sickness?
Why? I didn't have the access to those things.
Pussy juice.
Oh, yeah.
Eat some pussy juice, and you'll be better.
I'm not. I was like going delirious. I had no more. I was sick.
You said I can't do it. I'm sick.
I was sick.
Well, I can't say it, but you're such a dork.
You just said pussy. Oh,
yeah,
dork. I was out. I mean,
with an F is what I was gonna call you.
Look, I'm not cool.
No. Also, it makes me kind of angry. You spent all this time not getting laid. You wanted to, then you had a chance.
Yeah.
In the country. Anyway.
Yeah. She came through too.
She came through. That never happens. And it was right
through.
then.
I was. Yeah. I know. And
why couldn't she do it then? Oh, she had to leave on the train.
She had to leave on the train.
She's being responsible. She goes, I will fuck you. I'll be in your pussy.
So I had no pussy. I had no beer stein.
And you got a full fucking set of balls.
I was sick from work. People were angry at me at work.
Oh my God, bro.
But then I met a stewardess, and who worked for like some like Europa Air.
Yeah.
And then we dated for a while, and then
fully dated.
We fully dated.
Hungarian?
Yeah. Yeah, she was great. She used to date a gangster before me.
Oh.
And she
you were the safe other way. You
yeah,
were
100%.
You were the Aiden after she dated
Every
Big.
time she showed up I invited her to work to like hang out. I would wear a suit, and it was ridiculous for me to wear a suit. You're like, why are you wearing a suit?
I'm trying to impress this lady. I don't know how to do it.
The job I got fired from previous to that, I was selling Hugo Boss suits. But I kept getting everyone's measurements wrong, so they fired me. But I had a suit. I had like a couple nice suits. So she would show up.
Measurements wrong. People
I would like. Yeah, all the legs were always like one was shorter than the other.
You're like, I just kind of like eyeballed it. You're like, no, you can't eyeball tailoring.
I can eyeball it.
Yeah.
And
what are you, like an L or an XL? Like that's not how suits come in those sizes. They come in specific numbers.
Well, you got a L leg and a 16 waist leg. What? Yeah. But then, so I then she was like, I can fly us to Spain for free. Let's go on vacation.
Stewardess. Yeah.
I'd never been to Spain. I was like, it's great. And then we go to Mallorca, Spain.
Oh, I heard Mallorca's the.
Yeah.
Because Menorca's the one people know.
Yeah. And,
you went there?
But in that interim, our relationship started to sputter out.
Damn it.
And then I went to see a music festival in Serbia in a castle. I saw the White Stripes play in a castle in Serbia overlooking the Danube. It's called Exit Festival. And I saw a bunch of like DJs in a moat. And my girlfriend from college was traveling, and I met her there. And she goes, you know, like these music festivals where it's just like a bunch of tents?
Yeah.
It's like a tent city, 1,000 tents. I get off the train. This is before smartphones. She goes, I get off at like 7 in the morning. She's like partying all night. She goes, I'm in the blue tent. I go, okay. I get there. There's 1,000 tents. I pick one out of 500 blue tents. I go, hey, I'm so tired. I've been on a train all night. There's a girl in there. I don't know. I go, can I just sleep here? She goes, okay, but don't fucking touch me. I go, yeah, no problem.
This lady?
This some stranger.
Oh.
And then I lie.
Oh my God.
I lie down beside her.
She
don't
let you?
I know, dude.
Yeah, but don't touch me. What a fucking hippie. And
I just told her the truth. I was like, I'm supposed to be my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend, my old friend.
Can I just sleep in the tent? I mean, it'd be like even if a woman asked to sleep in my tent, unless she was a fucking knockout.
Yeah.
No.
It's crazy.
And it's like, no, I'm so tired. I'm like, I get it. I've been there.
I would sleep in the dirt.
You can sleep out back.
I don't know why. I don't know why I asked. I did. And then she said yes. I fell asleep. And then it unzips a couple hours later, like the tent.
Yeah.
And Jenna was there. She was like, you found the blue tent.
Wait, what do you mean she was there? She was in?
So my ex-girlfriend goes, I'm in the blue tent.
Wait, but that's not the one you were sleeping in. How big are these tents?
So picture a city of tents.
Yeah, like
red ones, blue ones, green ones.
But just like personal tents.
Yes. And there is probably 300 blue tents. I had a 1 out of 300 chance of picking the right one, and I did.
But who was this other chick you slept next to?
I don't know, a friend she met or something.
And so then Jenna came home, just was like, to her tent, she's like, let me sleep. Oh, I guess Sarah hooked up.
She's like...
And it's like, oh.
She's like, Graham found the blue tent. I was like, whoa.
That has to rejuvenate the relationship. To see
because we weren't trying to make out.
Yeah.
It became very intense. We like did make out, but that's it. And then I still had this girlfriend, and the very next day I was supposed to go to Mallorca with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
My Hungarian girlfriend. I take the train back to Hungary. We fly to Spain. And then she's mean to me the whole time. We're not talking. We have some sangria. We're supposed to be there 5 days. 5 days. First day, I go, what's the problem? She goes, I know you've been cheating on me. I go, I admittedly made out with my ex-girlfriend the day before or 2 days before. And I go, what?
But she doesn't know that.
She thinks I've been cheating on her.
And also that's just like a make-out. It's not cheating.
Yeah. I go, especially when you're 23.
And an ex, come on. That's me not cheating on you.
She goes, I've been cheating on you because I know you've been cheating on me.
What?
I go, what? She goes, yeah, my ex-boyfriend, the gangster, used to make her carry a pistol. And I go, what? She goes, yeah, because I know that you've been cheating on me. I go, what do you mean? How do you know I've been cheating on you? She goes, I went over to your house. Last time we had sex, I went over to your apartment. There was crumpled up Kleenex all around the bed, and that only ever happens after we have sex, and that was already there. And I was so angry, and I wanted to get her back, so I told her I did cheat on her because I was angry. I didn't have the heart to tell her that the reason why there was crumpled up Kleenex was because I was jerking off.
That only happens after we have sex. Like, how self-centered do you have to be? To be like, this experience I had, it's the only time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wipe up cum with the tissues.
With the tissues.
What other situation could I not be cheating where I also have to wipe up cum?
Every
Either
other
I have
night.
discharge randomly that I can't control, or
every night of my life
every
since I was
night
13.
and sometimes lunch.
Yeah. And then we had 5 more nights, 5 more days and nights on vacation. We broke up the first night. And we were just driving around, not talking.
Oh, you should just be like, I'll see you in 4 days for the flight home.
Yeah, I didn't have the money. We both didn't have the money. We both had to stay there.
This reminds me of season 3, episode maybe 6 of Sex and the City, where the angry lesbian, the redhead, Carrie. Carrie? No,
RFK.
Not Carrie. What's RFK?
RFK's wife.
No, she's in Curb Enthusiasm.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
But
Miranda.
Miranda's married to a politician.
Miranda was helping run SAG. Maybe that's what you mean. But maybe.
Oh, I could be. Okay, I'm probably wrong.
But in the city, married to in real life. Let's see. Activated Christopher Marinoni. Oh, an activist. No, but then when she was dating that guy Steve, the fucking dork, the
bartender,
soft boy, yeah.
Wait,
what were we talking about?
I wasn't Steve.
Yeah, in this situation you were.
No,
or maybe you were Miranda.
I'm a bad boy.
What were you just talking about? The cum.
She was like the Kleenex.
Oh, they broke up, and like the problem with breaking up in New York is you also have lost your roommate, and you can't just find another place.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on vacation with this girl. It's like, oh, I'm broke. Like, well, we're stuck on vacation.
We got around by a smart car, a convertible smart car.
Yeah.
It's just this little clown car. We're just like not talking. Like,
angry on vacation is such a great. I want to do one of the old blogs, and it was ohhappydads.com, and it was just like fathers like in a terrible mood in like luxurious places. You know, like in Hawaii. Just like, fucking come on! Just like screaming in tropics.
Yeah. That was my dad. We when we were kids, we had a timeshare in Quebec City. My parents traded it for a canal boat in the English canal system. Oh. And my dad was the pilot, and it rained the whole time, and he had to steer from outside. And we bought him a pilot hat, a sailor cap.
Steer in the
rain.
rain.
It was me, my I was like 18. My middle-aged parents and my one severely autistic brother stuck on like a tiny houseboat for a week. It was the worst. It was just the worst.
This is a bad
We'd
call.
my mom would be like, check up on your father. We'd open up the hatch. He'd just be like, just cold rain in his face. His little captain's hat.
It's not even his normal work.
No.
He's like, I'm enjoying it.
Christ. And they didn't teach us how to like do the locks or teach us how to like drive it properly. So we'd always get stuck, and then people would yell at us because we'd cause traffic.
Shut up.
My dad would be like,
Look, Big Ben.
Jesus Christ.
Graham.
My brother would be sitting on the bow just like freaking out.
What'd you do while you were in Hungary? What'd you get into?
I would drink a lot.
How were the bars?
The bars are really cool.
Yeah.
There were some really cool bars. I finally figured out like the cool zones. There was a couple people I work with that were kind of cool, and it took me a while to get to know them, and they were kind of my age. But
yeah, if you're
showing
staying in
me
a
around.
town, imagine staying in New York and you're staying in Times Square.
Yeah.
You know, which a lot of people do, or Midtown,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, cool, where's to go out? And you're like, oh, you got to leave this whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
This is not where anybody cool hangs out.
Yeah, and it took me a while to figure out, but then there was some really cool stuff, like kind of like, you know, like I would imagine 90s Berlin.
Yeah, was it like
early 2000s
anarchist
Berlin
vibes?
Kind of like just grimy underground. I remember there was a barge that was a dance club, a barge on the Danube that was like a cool multi-level dance club, and the barge was like rotting.
Oh,
It was so cool.
wow.
Yeah.
Was it so like in Berlin, you really see the shadow of the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, there you definitely do. There's bullets everywhere from the 1956 revolution, because they tried to like kick out the communists in 56.
Yeah.
So after World War II, after the Nazis got kicked out, so the Nazis forcibly invaded, and they kicked out the Russians, and then the Russians
We want that
came back after World War II, so 1945, and then 1956. There was it's right by Austria. It's like very close to democracy. It's like if Philly was democratic and New York wasn't, you know. So it's like there was enough.
Yeah, good point.
They tried to like push them out, and there was like bullets everywhere, bullet holes everywhere, like in my neighborhood from that revolution and World War II. Like there was like relics everywhere.
What's your vibe there when you're seeing that stuff? Was it cool, or you're just like, meh, whatever?
I love history. I have a degree. I have basically a university degree in World War II. So I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's history speaking on the streets there.
Yeah, man. It was super cool. And also Budapest is like one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Is it really?
Yeah, just Google Budapest. Just do images. You're probably going to see the parliament on the Danube.
Which is this one?
Those are the baths. Those are Roman baths. They have a bunch of...
This big thing?
That's the parliament on the Danube.
Okay.
But on the left is Roman baths. They have hot springs.
What, natural hot springs?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there
That's
a big,
all outdoors. That's as you can. You know.
Is there a big bath culture there? Thermal
Yeah.
bath? There is.
There's a big bath culture there, and then
Look how communal that is.
yeah,
too.
people got old dudes playing chess in water. And
No
stuff.
way.
It's so cool, dude. It's like way cooler than Prague and cheaper.
And the cheaper
best-
than Prague?
Dude, yeah. Prague
is cheap.
Prague is not cheap in the tourist area. You have to go like 10 blocks away, and it's cheap. And also, nobody from the Czech Republic visits and uses all the tourist stuff. In Budapest, like you walk around like all the touristy stuff,
Yeah.
and you hear Hungarian.
It's locals doing it.
It's like a park to them.
I was
They
just
still
talking
get
about
to
this with Ian
use it.
Sterling, where like Tokyo is it's stuff for tourists, but
Yeah.
it's like not made for tourists. Like you can join us Tokyo people,
Yeah.
but we're not going to come to you.
That's what I love about New York. It's like
Same, New York,
go,
same.
Go to the subway and try and figure it out.
Yeah.
There's no instructions.
Yeah, it's like,
the map
yeah.
is like a bunch of spaghetti on a map.
Or you're like,
what?
I heard McSorley's is like the oldest bar. You're
Yeah.
like, sure, but it's mostly New Yorkers in there. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
it's not like a lot of places you go and it's like there's nothing but tourists here.
Yep.
What's in the house there?
I think they
like
got
changing areas.
They got changing areas, and they got like cold baths and steam baths, or
interesting.
probably like saunas and stuff like that, and massage tables. A lot of massaging going on there. I think it gets pretty gay on Sundays. I remember it was pretty.
The hot bath I go to, they have like male only days
Yeah.
for the Hasidic Jews to not have to see topless women.
Yes.
And then when you go, it's like, oh, it's just gay Hasidic Jews.
Yeah.
And other gays.
Yeah.
I like this guy in this box because he's working, right? But he's going to be cold. So they put him in a fucking box?
I guess it might be winter. Yeah, it might be winter. They have, the winter is, I would say the climate is very similar to New York. They have a long, hot summer, and then it's like
really?
It's cold in the winter.
Damn, interesting.
Yeah.
What else was there to do there? Was this chick there?
Yeah, Francine? Yeah.
Like what did you get into besides the work stuff?
I saw concerts. I worked a lot. Yeah. I just basically worked for the weekend. After the work day, I was exhausted, and then on the weekend, I would drink very hard with my friends. But
that's cool. That's like so. When I say to do, people take it so it's like you're supposed to see these sites, but I'm like, no. Like if you're visiting New York, it's like I
tried to live.
I drank upstairs at the cellar for an hour and a half.
I really enjoyed taking the streetcar, seeing my girlfriend at the time. I really enjoyed like they have these like little hole, like literally like a hole in the wall like counter where like in Paris you just lean against a counter and you drink an espresso.
Yeah.
And in Hungary, it's a sausage with mustard. It's just a bunch of men lined up eating sausage with mustard with like a piece of bread. It was awesome. They had a bunch of music festivals, like good music festivals. The food was really good.
Music festival, summertime stuff?
Yeah, they had one called the Island. I think it's called Sziget Festival. It means island. And it's like their Central Park is an island in the middle of the Danube.
How do you spell Sziget?
Sziget.
Sziget Festival, wow.
And I saw somebody big. Oh, I saw Korn there.
No.
Yeah, I got swept away. I was like, let me see this Korn.
Yeah, it's a big crowd.
And then
this year?
The guy spread like they take off the cloak from the mic with the ghoul on it, and everyone's just standing still. And then I'd never seen Korn.
I saw him once.
And then the guy takes his pick out and goes, first strum, he goes, and then I just got swept in a mosh pit and I couldn't get out. I was like, I got like, yeah.
Dude, I went to see Weezer yesterday. Weezer did the Blue album, and
they did just the Blue album?
No, so you like music if you go to this shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you ever seen somebody do their seminal album? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I saw Cure at.
I haven't, but I just said yes. But
okay,
yes. But I understand what you mean.
At Glastonbury did it.
Yeah.
Beach Boys in Iceland did Pet Sounds.
You saw those?
Yeah.
This is okay.
Yeah, I saw both those.
Wow.
And they have other ones. Yeah, my promoter was the Beach Boys promoter and
cool.
Bieber's promoter. Mm-hmm. He was making far less money off me. But they were like, if you want to go to these shows, we can just go.
Yeah.
So I went with Ariel Jarn to both of them.
Yeah.
And
is this Outback?
Some European thing.
Okay.
I think it's like different for whatever.
Yeah.
They did the whole Pet Sounds, and then they just did the hits like Surfing USA and shit like that. It was great. Cry a bunch. But they both did the same way where they play the whole album. Mm-hmm. The Cure at Glastonbury finished Disintegration. It's an hour. They have an hour and a half set. They go, the next half hour will be pure Glastonbury. And then it's like Boys Don't Cry and all dance hits and stuff. But that's the thing. They open with the album. But then Weezer did it different. I loved it. They did a bunch of, they had some theme stuff, but like dork stuff. But like they started with all their hits from over the years. Had a little sketch for each one.
Yeah.
It's like, I have to go to a tailor in Pinkerton to get my sweater. And then they played a couple songs off Pinkerton, the Hash Pipe. They pretty much told you, hey, you might have forgotten how big we are. Let me remind you, and now we're gonna play Blue.
Yeah, I've been to a couple concerts, in like festivals where you're like, let me check out this big one. I'm here to see this other band, this like cool band, but let me check out this famous. And then they just play like 30 hits, and you're like, oh right, man, they are a part of my childhood.
Yeah, and you forget if they just play the hits. Don't try to play them. Just you're winning people over here.
Yeah.
But when they finally got to My Name Is Jonas. It was already an hour in, 45 minutes in.
Wow.
And then it was like, it's so strong. It's like, my name is and everyone's like,
yeah, they forgot.
Yeah, and it was like, it's like, okay, different song. The visuals are great, but man, it was so fucking. But that was the right way. And then they finished with the last song in Jonas, in Blue Album, and it was like Good Night. And man, what a show!
Great, that's showmanship.
Showmanship.
I saw the Rolling Stones a couple months ago at SoFi in L.A.
Yeah,
and I had held off not seeing them because I don't want to see there. I was like, I don't want to see it. That's not the
Dead
Rolling
band.
Stones.
Right.
But I got it.
But it's not like you're not seeing the full band. That's as good as it's gonna be.
They're 70% of what they were in 1969. I swear,
Wow.
they're still good.
I like crossing bands off a list now, where it's like I've never seen them. They're gonna stop touring soon.
Yeah.
I may as well just. I know it's not as good as seeing, the White Stripes in 2002.
Yeah.
But still, let me
I
see
saw them in 2005 in Serbia at this music festival.
Wow.
In a castle.
Were they big then, or just getting started?
They were huge.
Okay.
I mean, enough for a boy from Ottawa to be like,
Yeah.
holy crow, I'm going to see the White Stripes.
Me and Bobby Lee were gonna go see them
Yeah.
at think of it like Cat Club or Whiskey a Go Go or something. They
Yeah.
were just, but then like the blog, it wasn't as bad as now, but the blog world had heard of them.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
like, oh, cool, this is a cool hip new band we should see.
Yeah.
and it's like words out, dude. It's sold out.
Yeah. Has the Bobby Lee ever seen the Bobby Lees?
What?
You never heard of this band, the Bobby Lees?
No.
Yeah, they're getting big in like the garage rock scene.
What?
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Asbury Park, New Jersey, Friday, November 17th. They're coming up.
Yeah.
mean,
Are they?
they are good.
Are they named after Bobby Lee? They must
They'd
be.
have to be.
Yeah.
Right? Let me text Bobby.
They're good.
Yeah.
I have a couple of their songs saved on like my Spotify. Like.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, he must have heard of them. I could see him not though.
It's like that another good band, Cherry Glazer. You know them?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They're named after the NPR host Cherry Glazer.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, I think these LA bands, they just.
Interesting. I mean, it is a cool hip band. Shows, no shows. What kind of website is this? What the fuck kind of website is this? This is
Well, I'll tell
terrible.
you, no, it's not just a terrible website. It looks like my website.
Merch. Okay, they got some merch. No shows coming up, huh?
You just looked them up and you said they're coming to Asbury Park.
I know. So why don't they have it on their fucking Bellevue vinyl? That's Bobby Lee in it right there with the lead singer.
I didn't have my glasses on. I was like, I guess he dyed his hair.
It says Asbury Park, New Jersey, but then you click on it and it's nowhere.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't know. You're of no help. Here it goes. I've talked to them. The band name has nothing to do with me.
What?
What? That's crazy. What? Okay, that's crazy.
Bobby Lee, he very nice guy. I met him in Toronto when I was exiled up there
Toronto.
after I got deported from America, and I was living in Toronto, and we were hanging out. And there are certain moments in my life, touch points in my life, where I'm like, I think I might have like high functioning autism.
Yeah, I think you do.
Thank you, because he was like, look at my girlfriend, and
Bobby said that?
yeah, he was like, look how hot she is. And
She was hot.
She's very hot. And
She's still hot, but she's not his girlfriend, yeah?
yeah, I know. And I go, it's like one of these times in your life, you're like, why the hell would I ever say this? And I go, because he's like famous. And I
Yeah.
go, do you ever worry that people are with you just because you're famous?
Hold on. Let me think of how Bobby Lee could have reacted. I've known him for a long time.
Yeah.
I could see that the options are just being honest and knowing that's just an honest question. Like, yeah, there's some people are, but, overall, you pick your friends. 80% it's, dude, you're way out of line. How dare you say that?
That isn't what he said, but that was his look, and that was his attitude. And I was about to move to LA, and I was like, "This will be good. Bobby will help me." It was all over. Yeah, it was all over. I'm not the best networker. I'm not a good climber, I'll tell you that. But Bobby's a nice guy, very funny comic.
Bobby Lees are done. Bobby Lee's announced on social media they are calling it quits, at least for the time being.
You know why?
Because
Because
headwind of the digital music industry. What?
Yes, I remember, because it's about like Ticketmaster and Live Nation and all that stuff. They're taking money from their merch, and they're like, we can't make any money off our merch anymore. How are we supposed to? I mean, if you're a comic, it's tough, and they're like have to split it 4 ways now. So there's like no room for the middle bands anymore.
That's why like band shirts are like $50 for a T-shirt, $45 for a T-shirt.
They're
Like,
getting $20 out of that.
maybe.
Yeah.
because the shirt itself costs 10.
Yeah, right.
And then you got to give this much to them. So they're like, with the amount you want and to get a guy there to work it, it's like, if you sell it for 25, you'll lose 5.
Yeah.
So you just get it off their
Tell
website.
Bobby Graham says hi. See what he says.
Okay. It was just a random name. Here's what he said. It was just a random name they thought of. It was before I had a name, I guess. I don't really know.
He had a name. He's had a name for 20 years.
Yeah, Matt TV.
They're like a 5-year-old band.
Okay.
He'll be like,
He'll
be like,
know who you are.
He'll write back, okay. Oh, and you know what he did to me once at the store?
What?
He goes, there's like that young manager that used to hang out there and started to, I forget his name, but he started to do really well and get promoted. And he really liked the band Hootie and the Blowfish.
Was this Egret?
No.
Okay.
This is some manager. I forget his name. I probably should know his name. Nice guy. He really liked Hootie for the Blowfish. And then Bobby goes, hey man, hey Graham, how's it going? Hey, what do you think about the band Hootie and the Blowfish? And I go, they suck. And he goes, hey, this is John. He's a manager, blah, blah, blah. He loves Hootie and the Blowfish. He just went to go see a concert. I was like, you son of a bitch.
What a setup, too. Best case, you're like, no, I like them. They're okay.
Why would I? For God's sakes, you got a smarter man would not fall
So
for
they
that.
broke up because they can't make any money.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, here's February 2024. They don't know what to do with them.
I heard comedy clubs are starting to do that.
No, take
They're
money off merch.
Or starting to jack prices up. A comedian was telling me last night that
Sounds true so far.
they were like, I'm trying to set my tickets at 35 and now the tickets are 42. And I go, why? And they go, well, because they just added a $7 surcharge because they can.
Surcharge? And now this new thing is
It's like it's your ticketing system.
facility fee, and they own the ticketing system.
They own
so
the
they're not even
ticketing system.
using the Live Nation thing. Like Robin is like,
Price
we're using
Scout.
our own. So here's how it works for everybody at home.
Yeah.
The comic makes either a straight amount early on, $1,500 usually to start a week, and then at some point you get a door deal.
Yeah.
You get 40% of the tickets, 60% after the expenses. Mm-hmm. So let's say the tickets are $20, and let's say you're getting 50%.
Yeah.
So that's $10 in your pocket for every ticket sold. After expenses, so they have 5,000 expenses, whatever it is, to keep the lights on, to get your flight out there. Sure, let's call those a wash. But really now you're making, instead of $10 tickets, since we got to get the first 5,000 to them, you're making $9 a ticket.
Yeah.
And now, so it's like whatever, 45%. And now they add a facility fee and a whatever fee. So the $20 tickets are $27, but you make 10 after the first 5,000. So you're not making 50%.
Yeah.
You're making it like 30%. And it's like, well, it's like they're just, I hate it. It's so fucking crooked.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're like, at the big venues, you understand it. Like, there's nothing you can do. Pearl Jam lost. But
They're
like,
really finagling extra money.
yeah. Why can't they afford to keep making music? Damn.
Yeah. Anyway, they're good. They're a good band. You know, go to their.
Tell me more about Hungary and Budapest.
Well,
What else was the food like?
it was a lot of meat. Goulash is from there.
Yeah,
A lot of,
Romania, which has got to be right nearby, right?
a lot of paprika. Paprika's on everything.
Interesting.
They had a good art scene. I was every Friday. My company would take us out for free appetizers and drinks because it was small enough at that point. And then it was right after I'd kind of figured out. This is like halfway through my contract, towards the end maybe, and I was sitting. I got seated beside my boss, and I was like, "This is trouble. I'm gonna get pretty loose with the lips in about 3 beers." Sure enough, I sit after 3 beers. I'm like, how do you feel about what we're doing here? And then he is
the war profiting.
He's like I'm sure right now he's like super far right wing, pro Viktor Orban, probably small government, let corporations run everything, whatever. Fine. So he's like, he couldn't wait for this, probably. This fucking kid straight out of university, this college kid. But he thinks that I'm just some idiot who doesn't know anything about history. I know a lot.
And he goes, let me tell you.
Especially back then. I've forgotten a lot. I've forgotten more than I have ever known. And so he which makes no sense what I just said, but don't think about it too much.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, so we just start getting into it. I call him a war profiteer. And we
But by the way, also, so are you. You're literally making money off this.
100% I am.
Yeah.
But 100%.
Yeah.
But I stopped. So what I did is I stopped working hard. You see. So instead of I'm
hurt the company.
I'm putting stuff in the gears here.
Yeah.
I'm hurting the cogs. You know? I'm not hurting them at all. They just put me on a different desk and gave me some bullshit job after that, where I had to fill trucks on the way back. So we had trucks. We'd pay these drivers a lot of money to drive from Baghdad International Airport. Well, they would go from Turkey into Iraq. We would go down. We were shipping stuff literally from Germany, and then we'd drive down to Turkey and then go into Iraq. Or we'd fly in from Tashkent in Turkmenistan, or where's Tashkent? Like over here somewhere.
Yeah. And
fly into Kuwait and then bust them in. And then anyway, so we'd have these drivers, and they would. My job was to on the way back after they dropped off their load, try and pick up loads on the way back to like Germany. So they would have stuff on the way back, which is like an impossible job. So it was fine.
Yeah.
But so I didn't do anything. But that was my punishment. But anyway, we would have these. One fun story is like they had this like highway between the green zone in Baghdad, which was like American run safe. There's like a KFC in there and stuff like that. And that's like downtown Baghdad. And then everything else is chaos at this point. And then a highway.
What year is this?
2005.
Okay.
So a height of the war. The war started in 2003. It's still... George Bush, he's sad. He stood on the aircraft carrier that said victory at this point, but it's not victory. It's like crazy still. And then the other safe place is this walled city inside. Yeah. And if you had to stay, you'd stay for weeks in one place. And then in order to get back out for R&R, back to Budapest, to our company, you would have to go on something called the Rhino bus, the rhinoceros bus. And the rhinoceros bus was an armored bus, and it would travel with helicopters on either side to protect it, because people would come out with bazookas and try and shoot at it and stuff.
Damn.
And the Rhino bus would leave at different times, so they couldn't time, the insurgents couldn't time when it was coming. And so you had to keep a go bag by your door, and then people would knock on your door at 6 a.m. They'd tell you, we're going to come in sometime in these next 3 days, so keep a go bag. And they'd knock on your door and be like...
go bag.
And they'd be like, Rhino bus, Rhino bus, Rhino bus. And if you missed it, if you slept in because you're hungover, you got to wait another 2 weeks for the Rhino bus.
No.
So
you would just scream, get up, go.
Rhino bus. And you'd run, grab your bag.
Wow.
You'd grab your bag. You'd grab your bag, run on the Rhino bus. You'd be like, oh, be like hungover or whatever. And now... You leave the walls, and now you have like an hour trip to Baghdad International Airport, and there's helicopters on either side of the Rhino bus, and people are, sometimes nobody shoots at you, sometimes they do, and one guy was like, a helicopter got shot, it went down, and our Rhino bus got disabled, and we had to run the last like 100 meters into the walls of the Baghdad International Airport. They open up the gates.
Like, get in here,
like
go.
a castle, dude.
It's just war zone outside?
Yeah. And so these bus drivers that we paid were like getting a lot of money, because they were like having to drive in there and drop off like comic books and nails and rebar and stuff.
Risking their lives for fucking Betty and Veronica's.
To keep Betty and Veronica.
I couldn't get me an Archie. You had to give me a side version.
You gotta keep these kids happy. They're fighting a war. You have to placate the children. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then they would sleep in these like in these shipping containers.
They're really kids.
In Baghdad International
They couldn't even get to a bar in here.
Yeah.
They're 2 years away from getting into a bar in New York. Three. Yeah.
And then they'd be like, the dudes that we would work with would be sleeping in shipping containers at Baghdad International Airport, and they'd be like, the insurgents what they do is they would take mortars and put like just a mortar and fire it randomly over the walls and then run under a tree because there were satellites, and if you stayed too long, they'd triangulate you and incinerate you from space. Something would come get you they would like shoot at you. So they didn't have time to aim. So they would just run out from under a tree and go funk and run back. And so these random bombs are going off around you, and you living in a shipping container, and you'd be like, I would be like, how's that? And they'd be like, well, we know by the sound if it's going to be close or not of it being in the air because we're so used to it.
How long do they have to decide if it's going to be close?
I don't know, like 10 seconds.
What? Yeah, that's not enough time to really do anything. It's not like you got a week to prepare.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's going to be it's here.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. We paid them a lot. They tried to get me to go to Kuwait.
Ooh.
My roommate went to Kuwait. He took it. He got extra money, and it was great. I had the whole apartment to myself.
Kuwaiti food is do you know what it's like?
No.
No one does. I don't know anything about it.
Do you like it?
I don't know anything about it.
No.
I did go to a Palestinian restaurant. A lot of Israeli food.
They got the Israeli falafel there.
They do.
Huh.
Yeah.
And hummus.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have the H, not the CH.
Interesting. Though the food, Budapest is great.
Did you go anywhere else in Hungary? Did you go around?
Yeah, I went to, they had this big lake, it's like they're like Hamptons.
Esta? This one?
Yeah. And it's like, it's really, really beautiful. It's like their Lake Como kind of thing. And it, yeah.
What is it, just like a resorty kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like Balaton.
Yeah, like Balaton. Yeah, that's what it was called.
Damn.
It's like all wine stuff.
This reminds me of Atitlan.
And then I took a.
Wow, it's gorgeous.
It's really gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. Yeah, it's like some crazy. They got crazy fish there because it's very deep or something. Hungarians are very interesting because they used to be. Their parliament is huge because it used to be the head of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Oh.
And which I think also used to be the head of the Holy Roman Empire, I think. Anyway, but they have this complex. Every time you go to a Hungarian's house, they had a map of what the empire used to be. And they go, look what we used to be. Look what they took from us. Is the first thing they'll say. Look what they took from us. And there used to be this big empire. Now there's this little tiny country. And
Austro-Hungary, so it was like all that, and then probably all the way down here,
all the way down to Romania, all parts of Turkey, parts of
they took
Ukraine.
It wasn't yours. I mean,
and then they took. I don't know who they. And then so they're very pessimistic. This is Hungarians to a T. When you go to their subway, when you go down, there was a clock telling you not when the next train was coming. It was telling you when the last train left.
So you could, she's like, oh, I missed it. I just missed it. Wow.
Yeah. You're like, oh, all right.
That's crazy. That's so disappointing. If you get down to the subway, New York subway, and you're like, no train, you're like, oh, last one left a minute ago. Like, if you see it go out, you're like, you just missed it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're hoping for like, all right, it's been 15 minutes. The next one should be here soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, wild. And you never just start getting late at all before you left?
Oh, I had that...
just that one,
that stewardess,
but nobody else.
I had
a strapping young Canadian.
Took me a while. Took me a couple years. Took me till my mid-20s till I really sort of
knew what you were doing.
Could figure out to get out of my own way.
Yeah. Yes.
I got sent to boot camp in Saskatchewan, an all-boys boot camp in high school, and I think it kind of like delayed me a couple years.
Interesting.
I wasn't around a lot of women. It was a lot of just like fighting and farts.
So I was with religion. Then when you get out, you're like, it's almost like your friends who know how to get laid. You're like, dude, you're there. Just go home with her. And you're like, no, I don't know how to. It's like, oh, you pitched 7 strong innings and you don't know how to just close this out.
Same. Yes, exactly.
It's an easy close.
Exactly.
You're up 5 runs.
Yes. You just can't get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also like I was like pretty good looking when I was 24.
Yeah, you're pretty good looking.
And I think that also, I was like, why aren't they just sleeping with me? Because everyone's like, you're so good looking. I was like, okay.
All right, suck my dick.
All right, suck it. You have to like talk to people.
So when
know?
did you leave? When did you decide to leave, and how did you get out? How was the process of leaving? And how long were you there for total?
I was there. I was there for a year.
Un año.
And then took the Orient Express and went down to Turkey. And I stopped.
was that?
I stopped in Sarajevo where they had the war, and they had the in former
It
Yugoslavia.
goes to the Orient? Is that why they call it the Orient Express?
Yeah, it goes to Turkey. So Turkey is the first. It's the first country in Asia.
Yeah.
So when you cross the Bosphorus Canal, you
Yeah.
go from Turkey touches Europe and is also in Asia. So when you cross the canal there, you go into Istanbul.
The canal's on Istanbul?
Yeah, Istanbul, and they have a bridge going over it where the card game bridge was invented.
Oh, what?
And
Fun
then
fact.
that's right. And then they, so I wanted to go to Turkey, and but I went to Sarajevo, and it's the only place in the world because they had the Civil War there, and they also had the Olympics there. So you see all the Olympic rings with bullet holes in it and stuff. They had the '84 Winter Olympics, bullet holes everywhere.
Because the war came afterwards.
War came in like '92 or something, and then again in 2000 they had a lot of ethnic cleansing and stuff. But it's the only place in the world where they do not like Canadians because the Canadians were the head of the United Nations and wouldn't let them defend themselves, and the Serbians just bombed them from the hills, and they had to smuggle in guns. And then I hired a guy at the train station to take me on a tour, and he took me to the general's backyard, and I met the general, the guy who's in charge of defending Sarajevo, and he hated me because I was Canadian, and he wouldn't let me have a peach from his peach garden. And then he goes,
"Bro, you're not getting back at Canada for this."
"Why did I help? Why do I hate you?" And I was like, "Well, I told him why because I knew the history or what we did wrong as Canadians and stuff." And he was like, "You can have a peach."
Because you're willing to admit it.
Yeah.
It says all you want is some recognition.
Yeah.
I remember at TSA would sometimes just be wildly changing their rules all the time.
Yeah.
And one time the guy was like, they start like in a few airports, they were like, they take your ID, like state your name. Like, what do you mean state my name? Why is that a new thing? It's not the hardest thing, but it was like, who invented this one?
Yeah.
What if I'm mute?
Yeah.
I can't fly? That's my ID.
Right.
What, I have to say it? And you don't think if I stole someone's ID, I wouldn't also learn how to pronounce it?
Yeah.
At least.
And how do you know how to pronounce it?
Yeah. I would know how to pronounce it as well as you.
Yeah.
And then I was just like always being a bitch to them. And then I was like, why? Why do I have to say my name? He goes, because the guy in charge of this TSA at this airport is power hungry, and he decided to add a new rule. And I was like, Ari Shaffir.
Yeah. I like you.
Okay. Yeah, I like you.
So you're telling me that the guy with a beard and a clean-shaven face is a contrarian? What?
So what was the process going home? How hard was it? What did you discover about America or Canada leaving?
It was tough going home because I immediately had to go from that like crazy, exciting life to selling suits. And
Wow.
I had 2 part-time jobs, delivering sandwiches and selling suits, and I stayed with my parents. I was like living with my parents in Ottawa. I was trying to save money to go to Toronto to start comedy. And
what a different vibe, being on your own in a crazy foreign country to being like kind of lame in your town, staying with your
so
parents.
lame, and it's cold and gray, and it was. My mom was like, "You gave up the job in Prague to deliver sandwiches."
Thanks for the support,
and
Mom.
mess up people's suits. and I was like, I don't know. I can't do that. I can't work in an office. I just can't.
So just because it was an office,
Couldn't
it was
do
like,
it.
It seems like a dream job. You're like, it's still under fucking neon lights.
Yes.
Or not neon, but whatever they are, those halogen lights.
50 hours a week are the worst. And I was like, if I can't do this in Budapest, then I can't do it at home.
At least you got out. I went to a WNBA game, met some people because I know someone who works in like the W agent world. You
Yeah.
know? And so we're talking to someone.
The women's agent world?
Yeah. Women's sports. You know what she said? Because she worked in the male sports for a while.
Yeah.
Because when you work in women's sports, you pay for a lot less abortions. Because one, it's them getting pregnant. Two, they're all half lesbian. So it's like,
Yeah.
football, they're like, hey, get this girl like cleaned.
Wow.
And you just have to do it.
What does that have to do with me working in an office?
So I asked this lady, she played in Turkey for a while.
Oh, yeah.
She played basketball in Turkey and Russia. And I was like, how was Turkey? What'd you do? And she goes, I mean, we got to Europe for when we had like away games and stuff. And I'm like, But I mean, did you get around Turkey and stuff? She goes, yeah, no, I just kind of practiced, went back to my place.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little, at least you went out some.
I went out a lot.
Yeah.
I made friends there. I went out a lot. I practiced with the Hungarian basketball team.
Really?
Semi-pro basketball team, and I got to know those guys, and they took me out and stuff. And I mean my girlfriend was a local.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you learn the language at all, or did you not need to?
It's a very hard language. They think that an Asian tribe stopped there and also kept going to Finland. And then they both got isolated because they're both similar languages, and they're not like anything surrounding them. It's not a Slavic language.
Wow. They just dropped off some words and kept going?
Yeah. Well, they just stayed there and started talking to each other and didn't talk to anybody else. So, like, Finland is close. There's like 4 countries in between Finland and Hungary.
Yeah.
Maybe
What's
more.
Hungary again? Oh, there.
But all the countries in the middle have different languages. But those 2 countries have similar languages. They have a lot of similar traits.
The fuck's Finland?
Upper left. Finland's up there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So that's far.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they both say last name first, which only happens in Asia.
In Asia, yeah.
And they have a couple other things that they say. We know what's really messed up about Hungary, about their language, which took me a while to figure out, is hello is sia, and goodbye is hallo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It's like, what?
That's tough. You ever
Hello. And they just leave. You're like, huh?
You're like, no.
They walk in, they go, see ya. You're like, what is going on?
You ever scuba dive?
Yeah, it was awesome.
You know how when it's like is everything fine? You give that.
Yeah.
Because you give that means you want to go up, and you have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. They really should go this for up.
That's true.
It's like, come on, you know what this means almost everywhere.
Most of us spend most of our life on land. We're land people.
Some understanding of land usage.
We're people.
Dude, that sounds like a fucking great trip. To be honest,
It was
a year in Hungary sounds fucking amazing.
It was great. I started comedy a little late, but those years were incredible.
The
I wouldn't
freedom you
trade
have
them.
of not having a career yet.
Yeah.
Being able to like just delaying, but you're not like stopping something in the middle.
No. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. I think I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. You learn about yourself in those places.
I didn't get stuck in a corporate job and then start comedy when I was 32, which was what was going to happen to me in Ottawa. I would
you could just
got a divorce, started comedy, moved to Toronto. Everyone would have hated me.
Maybe be a Yucks headliner.
Yeah.
And just like talking to Breslin about.
Yeah.
About, come on, man. You haven't used me in 3
Come
months.
on, send me to
Yeah.
Send me to Guelph,
Yeah.
please.
Guelph? Is that a town you thought about? I don't even know. That's too deep. Cut.
Yeah, it's just the worst place imaginable you're trying to get to. Your dream is to go to Guelph.
75-mile radius plays too, where like you can't play within 75 miles.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, but fuck it, at a casino somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't play 70 miles away in an actual.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Well, was there anything else about Hungary you want to say? Because I have random questions too.
No,
about that.
fire away. I did it all.
So it's always asked people what place are they thinking about, like what's calling them, and then also what just general travel tips you have, and also honestly what you would tell somebody who's going to Hungary, like you should pack one of these, you should not do this.
So what's the first question?
What country's calling you? Where do you want to go?
I want to go to Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah, I want to.
You've never been?
No, I want to. I've never been to Asia other than Turkey, which is not real Asia in my opinion.
Israel's Asia.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's Africa.
No, borderline.
Yeah.
Egypt starts.
Oh
Africa.
yeah, you're right.
I mean, you think obviously Saudi Arabia and Jordan.
Middle
East,
East,
but that's not a continent.
Yeah, you're right. I suppose you're right. I guess you win this one.
You really should start here.
Yeah.
But then what is all this? Vietnam. Why? What's Vietnam? What are you thinking about?
It's beautiful and it's off the beaten path, but not too remote. It has enough of like infrastructure for tourists where you're not going to be like your head's not going to be cut off. Everything's safe and it's
you can
cheap.
get in and like okay, I got my wits about me. Now I can go off.
And you will feel like you're really you're going to a very very different place, but also your head won't get cut off.
Yeah,
which is great. That's the key.
Yeah.
Very, very, to have an out-of-world experience, that's when you grow, and that's when you learn about yourself, and that's when you get inspired because you learn about other people's culture and their thoughts on the world. Maybe you don't adopt them, but just the fact that you learn how somebody else thinks.
But there is a possible other way.
Yeah.
Then you realize like, oh, my way is just one way.
Yeah.
And not the way.
Yeah.
You can still have it as your way.
And you can also still think they're wrong.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I got back from Southeast Asia and Gavin McInnes, I saw him and he was like
I taught him how to do stand up.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I have like the
I love Gavin.
I don't.
He's got some public stuff that I don't get involved with, but man to man, he's always been pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't get involved with the other stuff.
He was mean to me, but he fired me from Vice.
Well, that's man to man. That's fine.
Yeah.
That I'll allow.
Yeah.
But he goes, what did they think of in Myanmar and like Vietnam? What do they think of Americans? And I'm like, they don't.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, like, they got their own lives to worry about, their own government. Why would they care about America?
Yeah. I mean, America's a pretty huge empire.
It is. They get our music and stuff, but they're just like, I'm not thinking about that at all.
It's too far away. That's what I'm excited about. Because every place I've gone is like, I want blue jeans.
Yeah.
You know? And it's fun. It'd be fun to just be like, we're not doing blue jeans.
Yeah.
You know? That's next on my list.
Somewhere I was out in Asia. I can't remember. I remember China or maybe Vietnam or somewhere. But like, where are you from? Or like, because they were like, Scottish, Irish, Australian, American, they're like, we can't tell the difference. It's just not here.
Yeah.
And then where you from, like America, like, oh, Schwarzenegger. And I'm like, no. But yeah, I guess
to them it's
his exports are from here.
They're doing what they do to us, or we do to them.
Yeah. China, like, oh,
China.
Mao, huh? And they're like, no. I'm Vietnamese.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Kung Pao, huh?
Yeah, dude, you'll love Vietnam.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've been all around there.
But I only went Ho Chi Minh and then south. That's kind of where I got sick of backpackers.
They know about America and Vietnam, I'll tell you that.
What?
They know about America and Vietnam.
Don't give a fuck about us anymore.
Really?
Yeah. China is who they
all
care
those
about
holes? Now. Okay.
There's a lot of flipper arm people because of us still being born birth defects, but like America's cool now. China's our fucking problem. Back then, they liked China, hated America. It's all flipped. None of them give a fuck about America.
They don't like China.
They hate China. They keep trying to encroach. But Hanoi is supposed to be real French influenced, but I got sick of it and then went southwest to Chodok because I was like, where are there no white people in Vietnam?
Oh, yeah.
And it was some small town in the southwest, on the Cambodia border. And it was just like, it was glorious. Nothing to do there.
Cool. Was the food good?
Yeah. The pho, I didn't get into that much except a little in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, whatever. But like the sandwiches, what are they called?
Banh mi.
Damn, dude.
It's got the French bread, French
it's
influence.
So fresh.
Yeah.
The bread is so fresh, and there's just little stands everywhere. You just get it, go, and it's just like, God, refreshing. It's kind of light even for bread. Mm-hmm. It's great. And fried oysters everywhere. And you see stuff that's like out, and you're like passing a market, and you just see out oysters. And you're like, this is going to get me food poisoning, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, whatever. And then you didn't get food poisoning. It was great. Vietnamese coffee is so good.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
Gets you fucking jacked.
Very sweet, right?
Yeah, the condensed milk.
Yeah,
you'll love it. You got any plans to go or just calling you?
No, I just got back from a big
trip.
Yeah, chill.
What about travel tips? One for Hungary too, not a travel tip, but like what should people know going into it? Like if I'm like, hey, I'm going next week, what do you got for me?
Go to the baths.
Go to the baths.
Go to the baths. You can drink in the baths. Go to the baths. Go up to Budapest. Go the Buda side, which is like the pretty side. It's like all the museums and stuff. But Pest is where all the action is. Pest is like the cool zone.
Those are the two cities, is Buda and Pest?
Yeah, on either side of the Danube.
Oh, wow.
Danube River snakes through
that.
it. Pest is the cool side. Buda's like it's bougie, all the museums there.
Bougie Pest.
Cool. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a cool bath there. The oldest Roman bath, I think, is there. But the bigger one, the one that we saw the video of, is in Pest. A lot of cool dive bars.
Wow.
Their wine is decent.
Eat what?
You have to have goulash there. You have to have eat those little sausages from the windows. And the subways are good. Streetcars are good. They have a crazy festival in the summer. You would love this. And it's these like DJ floats. Each float is a new DJ. And you just party on the street, and you can follow whatever float you want.
So they're right off the water on the Danube, and you just
No,
kinda
this is just down the main drag. It's like if Broadway was like
Was water?
a parade. It's a parade.
but on the water. Oh,
No,
float like
it's a-
that. Float, land float.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
the
Like
word
a
float.
like a parade
Yeah.
float.
And so you
with
dance
wheels.
along. That's how Carnival is.
Yeah.
Trinidad, you just like, I like this DJ. Let's stay with him.
Yeah.
And then if you stop for a while, another one comes and gets you.
Yeah, you can just stop there and
Right.
wait for them to go by,
Right.
and they just all have topless women dancing on.
Oh,
and
I
then,
love topless women.
And the thing about about Hungary in general is most beautiful women I've ever seen and the ugliest men I've ever seen. Every man looks like a younger version of Mr. Clean, and every woman is gorgeous. And you'd have no idea how these men's genes create these beautiful women. And
Interesting.
yeah, they have a. I mean, Budapest is just. It was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Damn, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What about general travel tips?
General travel trips, do not stay one day in a city and go to the next city or 2 days in a city. Pick a city, stay for 4 days, stay for 5 days. Become a regular at a bar or a restaurant. Do the city properly because you will not relax. You will not have a vacation. You won't learn anything. You won't have any fun. You'll be
Wow.
stressed out. It's like a job ticking a box, and
Because you
I've been
wanna see
here.
everything.
I've been here. I did that early on in
Yeah.
my first like foray into traveling. And it's like I wasn't having any fun. I was stressed out. I just did Rome for 5 days. People are like, 5 days? Wow, you're gonna go to Florence? I'm like, no.
Right.
Rome is huge.
Because the travel then becomes part of it. You're
Yeah.
wasting days in travel. And
No.
then also like, right, there's more to Rome.
It's huge.
Yeah.
We took a day trip to the beach. We took an hour-long public transport, like a Metro North type style thing, or Long Island Railroad type.
But you stayed in Rome.
But we went back to our Airbnb
nice,
that
nice,
night. It was
nice,
an
nice.
hour, and we felt like we were in a different city altogether. And there was like a
that's so
beautiful
great.
beach and everything. It was awesome.
That's right. You're almost like, hey, I know it's a country, but you're not going to a whole region. You're not going to like, I'm going to Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm going to Vietnam.
No,
so
yeah.
like, well, while you're there, go to Cambodia and Thailand. You're like, I only have a week.
You only have a week. You're not
Yeah.
gonna have fun. It's like
Stay in one
it's like,
city.
I'm gonna go to America. I'm gonna
I
go
like
to
that.
Seattle and Florida.
New York
You're like,
and
no,
Alaska.
you're gonna
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
worst time.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Unless you're Australian, you can go like, well, I'm going for 2 months. It's my vacation.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
That's my biggest one. And
I like
pack
that.
light. You're never going to wear any of the things you pack. Just pack. You are going to wear. You're only going to have one bathing suit that you're ever going to wear. You're only going to wear 2-3 pairs of
Yeah.
pants, and
Backlight
two-
rules because
yeah.
it allows you, if you have a souvenir or something,
Yeah.
room to bring it back.
Yeah.
But then also like,
It's to make you're gonna have to carry it. Is the
You're gonna
point?
have to carry it
You're-
around.
It's you're carrying it.
what I wouldn't do is if I go into a place, except for like, let's say I'm going on a long hiking trip or a ski trip where you need equipment.
Yeah.
But forget that. But if you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have a bathing suit, I'm going to Rome. We might go, or Budapest, I might go to the baths. I need a bathing suit. Don't buy it here. Buy it there.
It's not the 1950s with a travel check.
You can get everything.
You just buy it there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can get everything there. And then whenever people are like, where'd you get that bathing suit? Like, Budapest, actually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You got a story behind
Exactly.
it. And that's your
Yeah.
regular bathing suit.
Yeah.
You wrote a book? Oh, this is your Edinburgh show.
It's my Edinburgh show. What is a big book he's in front of?
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
where is this? Pete and me. Hopefully on off Broadway soon.
Hopefully off Broadway soon. Yeah.
Well, guys, follow him on Instagram, Mr. Graham K.
Graham spelt like the cracker, Kay like the letter.
Yeah, hilarious comic, and hopefully you'll get well, you got to get this more than 18,000 followers.
I know, it's
you
pathetic.
You're on the should be over 300, just based on talent. And I'm not talking about like workmanship and stuff. But
Yeah, I'm not good with social media.
yeah, but I'm saying talent of comedy. You're a $300,000.
That's really nice of you to say.
follower
Thank you.
person.
Thank you. I'm choosing to accept that as earnest.
Yeah.
You're a good man.
Did it sound sarcastic?
No.
You ever say
But
something?
my
that sounds
brain
sarcastic?
will be like,
Yeah.
no one likes you. You
Yeah.
know, so you got to get that out of the way.
I told somebody, I'm not even gonna say who. It was like, you're one of the most underrated comics. He goes, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? Who says I'm underrated? You don't think I'm rated? I'm like, oh fuck. I think you're great, and I don't think the world is aware. I'm like,
I
fuck.
loved what you said. Thank
Yeah.
you for saying that.
Yeah.
Last podcast, you were like, you're one of those like working comics that are just in New York doing it. You're like a Mike Vecchione, and that was so nice. That was a nice compliment.
Yeah. comics are always like, what's that supposed to mean? And like, it means he's one of the greats and you're there just talent-wise.
Sometimes I think nobody knows I do comedy, and then a younger comedian will be like, dude, I watch your stuff and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I'm like, it takes everything in my body not to go, really?
Yeah.
You know,
Arthur Seat.
Yeah.
Nice, buddy. You got up there.
I got up there. Got pretty, 5 a.m. Climbed a mountain with a bunch of theater kids. It was fun, though.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Dude, one time, let's leave with this, but I was up there. It was the last day of one of the fringes, and went up. I brought plenty of joints. I got high on mushrooms with Evan Desmarais.
Yep.
Good
kid.
I don't know if he pronounces it that way or not.
Desmarais, I think.
Okay. Desmarais, I don't know. But Evan Desmarais and another Canadian I'm blocking right now with all the fucking... He lived in England for a while. He's got fucked up. He hosted Late and Live for the longest time.
Oh, is he like 35-ish years
He's
old?
been on the podcast.
Red hair?
Yeah, red hair.
Bobby? Bob?
No. Not even... What the fuck? It's this long COVID. I can't remember shit. God damn. Now I got to remember it.
John Hastings?
John Hastings. Thank you.
Yeah. Good friend of mine, John Hastings.
Oh, he rules.
His hands are like this?
He's got some disease. He can't pick up an egg or
He's
something.
got dyspraxia. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be walking with him and he'll just start bumping into you. And he's like,
what are you doing?
6'5", 250 pounds. Like, get away from me.
Yeah,
But the whole
that makes
sidewalk. He's like, I can't see. I have dyspraxia.
Yeah. So we all took mushrooms. He freaked out. He flipped out. And
Yeah.
he thought we were like, he was in a hidden reality show. We were taping him. And I realized, I was like, well, where are the cameras? He goes, in every street light. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get that is where I'd put him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're not in a hidden camera show. He goes, wouldn't you say that though, if you were hosting one? And I was
Come on,
like,
John.
yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I was like, he made a logic loop that I was like, you've sealed the loop.
Yeah.
And then he just kept running away. Every time he tried to catch me, run away. And for Evan, I was like, buddy, you got to let him go. He's on his own journey.
Yeah. He's a big guy. No one's going to try
He was
and
fine.
get him.
Yeah, the next day he was like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. Have you seen my phone? I'm like, buddy, no, your phone's gone.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went up on top of Arthur's Seat, and all these theater kids in like their lion outfits and stuff from their last theater shows. And they're like, I was smoking a joint. They're like, oh, can I have some weed? And I had like 6 joints on me. I didn't need them. And I was like, here's a joint. Tell everybody Americans are cool. And he was like, okay.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Americans are cool.
Americans are cool.
Here's the thing. People will be like, America sucks. I'm like, what music do you listen to? How are you dressed right now?
Yeah.
You have to admit
you don't
that
like the Beatles?
At least half.
You don't like Phil Collins?
Yeah. It's like at least half of it is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you wearing, you asshole?
And even the side you don't like has some cool stuff too. Like, you know?
There's always a positive. Even
Yeah.
like New York's dirty. I'm like, all right, sure, but that's what you're focused on? There's best jazz in the world here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right. Thanks, buddy. I think that's it.
Yeah, did we go too long?
No, yeah, we went a little too long, but everyone subscribe. I'm cutting it now. Well, that's the episode, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to tell the story about Graham K that I forgot in the whatever. Also, don't forget, get your You Be Trippin stickers and T-shirts. Available right now at shaffir.com. Brand new. Get the first batch made right now. I saw the T-shirts at 2 people made pirate ones, which I have no problem with, in Providence. Showed up, a nice couple, and I was like, wait, where'd you get those? Those look fucking sweet. It's the stamp from the fucking backdrop that Abracadabra made. The ones who make the Shroomfest shirts that are coming soon. Shroomfest is July 6th, 7th, and 8th this year. If you don't know what that is, just do mushrooms. September 6th, 7th, and 8th. The latest it's ever been. 6th, 7th, and 8th. At any point, 6th, 7th, or 8th. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Go outside. I'd say go at night. Full moon in the Northern Hemisphere. One time I was hosting, I believe. Graham K went on. I think it was newly back from COVID, and I was doing an Ari and Friends show. I had Graham on because it's hilarious. Go see his show. Pete and me at the Soho Playhouse, July 9th through August 3rd. Get tickets at sohoplayhouse.com. Use promo code Peter Parker for a discount just for the listeners of this podcast. Pete and me, it's available right now. And in Toronto on September 6th. And, all those pictures. And Cincinnati, the Comedy Bar, love that place. And Cincinnati, Ohio, October 24th and 25th at Bombs Away. Don't know that place. Love Comedy Bar. Don't know Bombs Away. Either way, go at grahamk.com. So anyway, he was on. He did some story. I'm not going to say what. And there was some offensive material in there. We had this lady who was half representative of the group that would be offended. That's pretty broad. I like the way I said that. And this lady said, I take issue with what you said. Now, in the story that Graham told, he was called this offensive thing. He's recounting a tale where he was accused of something. I think I went on afterwards and I said, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard, is you being called this thing. I won't say what it is. I can't say what it is. It's not my joke. I think he might still be doing it. And I got, for the first time, he was like, hey, lady, it's a joke. They came at me with that. I'm sharing my pain of this terrible thing. I agree it's a terrible thing. I'm coming out. And I, for the first time in my life, figured it out. When someone comes up to you after a show, it's never good. It's never like, hey, even if it's like, hey, I enjoyed everything you said, but then you're overstepping. Get out of here. Just comment on the stuff you enjoyed. That's the whole America's Sweetheart streaming on Netflix now. It's the whole message. And I go, it's brilliant. I go, lady, you're right. She goes, what? I'm like, no, you're right. The way you said it, you're right. I'm just not going to do that anymore. You got through to me. She was so ready to fight, she couldn't let it go. She's like, well, it was just bad. You shouldn't do that. I'm like, no, I see it your way. I see it your way. You're right. I won't. Because, you shouldn't do it. I'm like, oh, no, I already said, 3 times now. I agree with you. I see it your way. You made a clear, good point. You weren't angry. She was. You didn't raise your voice. She did. And it got through to me. And I see it, and I won't do it anymore. One win for your team. I won't. I'm on your side now. I won't do that ever again. And she couldn't let it go. And eventually I was like, hey, lady, I'm on your side. It's never going to happen again. I was wrong to do it. I see that now. I didn't see it before, but because of this interaction, I now see it. You've converted me. She finally started to understand it. This guy's on my side now. I don't have to be angry, but I want to be righteous. And this is stopping me from being righteous. And that's the problem with liberals. I like liberals and conservatives, but liberals enjoy being righteous, so they actually don't want to convert anyone. And actually, now that I think about it, conservatives are the same way. They need liberals to be the crazy ones. They need a fucking trans woman to crush a 100-meter dash. They need it. Otherwise, they got nothing to be mad about. They need it desperately. I would like to tell you about I'll be in Charlestown, West Virginia, July 12th. Get tickets right now at arishaffir.com. My final road date. Also get these stickers, the 6-pack of stickers, $15 on my website, arishaffir.com. The You Be Trippin stickers, You Be Trippin t-shirts. I finished the wall, everybody. I got my final piece of mail that I opened up. I'm going to read it to you. I finished the fucking just in time. Just in time. To shut down. By the way, guys, how does it sound when I turn my head all the way this way? Oh, wait, here. How does it sound when I turn my head all the way this on the lapel mic? What if I turn that way? Does it sound okay? Ari, it was also put with a 3-pack of Chick-fil-A gift cards that I promptly gave away to black people. Ari, you just said you weren't going to do those kind of jokes anymore. Oh, yeah, I lied to her. Ari, I haven't seen the wall, so I don't know if you have any PHP up there yet. It's so small. Look how much wasted space is on here. I have 100 peso note left over from when I went to, something from my father's funeral several years ago. See, Cebu. I was going to go there to get my diver's license. Cebu. Damn. Yeah, they said it's some of the best diving. You can dive with whale sharks, too. Several years ago, including a few free meals, because everyone loves those, correct? Thanks for all the pods and content and something content over the years. All the best, Mike. Hey, Mike, what? It's so small. Anyway, I did. I put it up. Where's the Filipino one? It is... No. Is that it? Nah, that doesn't look like it. Could be this. I got Nigeria, Uganda, the Central Ivory Coast, I think. Old Mexico, Vietnam, Canary Islands from Sarah Tolomash, who went there. She's coming. Is it next week? No. Yes? I think they're next week. Blanco Central, Nicaragua. I mean, these kroners. I got fucking. That's it. Filipina, Sandang Piso. I got everything. It's crazy. United States. I got China from during COVID when they made special give it up for the fucking Guinea, Malaysia, Indian rupees, Central America. What? Bank Republican to Burundi. Fuck. Costa Rica. God damn, I got everything. Afghanistan. I thought I got a Saddam Hussein one somewhere too. Iran. I finally finished the wall. So stop sending it, everybody, because I'm no longer accepting it. The P.O. box has been shut down. I will start it up in the future. I appreciate it, but it is done. If stuff is on the way, it'll be forwarded for, I don't know, a few months to a forwarding address, but then that's it. Pretty sad, but I finished it, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Cuba. I think I got that one. Trinidad, I got that one. Romanian Liu, I got that one. The fuck is that? Some of these I don't know. Kenya, Zambia, Congo. Oh, there's the one with Saddam Hussein on it. Iraq. Where's that one? Singapore. Jesus Christ. Kroners. Egypt. Pretty cool. Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, you'll see it up. You actually can see if these podcasts go up and down in time, depending on how full this wall is over the guest's shoulders. It's a good little fucking Easter egg for you. That's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Next week, I think it's Sarah Tolomash and Joe List talking about their trip to Ecuador to visit me. So it's me, Sarah Tolomash, and Joe List. Let's see. Tolomash and List. The week after that, Mike Vecchione about Aruba. The week after that, Joe DeRosa about... What did we do? I forgot. Damn, we got some good ones coming. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you all enjoy your lives. Hungary, Budapest, a fucking war profiteer. Graham K, nice Canadian guy, war profiteer. It's crazy. That is crazy. Everyone go see a show at the Soho Playhouse, Pete and me. And subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. All right, guys. Till next week. See you later. Next week's a good one. Next week's a fucking good one. It's partially my trip, partially Sarah Tolomash's, partially Joe List's. And not even partially, fully, times 3. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been You Be Trippin'. I'll see you next week.